Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video of all things K and K. So in this video we're going to be doing a story time. You see yourself? We're going to be doing a story time about the day she was conceived and my pregnancy and up to this point pretty much, because during my pregnancy and after my wedding I pretty much ghosted. I literally wasn't on social media or talking to a lot of people. I kept my pregnancy very private. And even the birth, people didn't even know I had a kid until I think I posted when I was 39 weeks. We did pictures. Oh, I did a picture 35 weeks. I posted them at 39 right before she was born. And people were like, oh my goodness, you're pregnant. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna give you guys the insider about that pregnancy and everything about it. So let's get started. So she was born August 13th, 2018. And that would mean, if you calculate it, she was conceived around Thanksgiving. And at that particular time last year, we went to Chicago for Thanksgiving. So we went to Chicago for Thanksgiving. That's where her dad's family lives. And yeah. So I'm just putting some primer on my face for my foundation. I really like the way that my foundation sits with it on. And then also, I'm going to put on some under eye corrector. Okay, anyway, so last year Thanksgiving, I think it was my first time actually going to Chicago last year. And we went, well, me and Daniel went. And, what? So me and him went, and then we had a good time, obviously. No, but so we went, and I met all of his family, and it was really fun. And then we had got what, baby? What? Let me give you the phone. Hold on. Anyways. So I'm just gonna dab that out. Okay, so she's being a little fussy, guys. So we're gonna move over here on this side so she can watch a little bit of cartoons, because that's what she loves. First one was Chicago last year Thanksgiving. It was so fun. I got to see a lot of the different attractions that they have. I went to the Bean, which is really cool. I'll post a picture. I'll pop on this. Pretty much here, and it was really fun. I got to see a lot of cool things when I was down there. Got to eat a lot of good food and I had a lot of fun, to be honest. I would recommend going there. The do happened. But anyway, so that happened, and then immediately after I knew right after, I was like, you know what, I know, just because I could feel it. I don't know if any of you girls out there or men know, when you after you finish, you know. I don't know how to explain that anymore. You just know. I literally felt it. It felt kind of like extreme butterflies. If you want to compare it to something, it was like extreme butterflies pretty much, which was crazy because I had never really felt that before. But it was like an intuition type of thing. I just kind of knew that was what was happening, and I kind of told him, I was like, I'm pregnant. He's like, what? And I'm like, well, I could just feel it. I just knew something was up. And he was just like, okay, well, we'll see, And at this up, and having fun together, we're engaged, so anyway, we didn't really think anything of it. If we have a kid, we do, we didn't care. So long story short, a few days before our wedding, I felt weird, and I was like, yeah, I should get a test, So we took a test and came back positive, and I was like, oh snap, it's getting real. So we're not gonna tell anyone, and we're just gonna wait a little bit. On the 16th, which is really funny because we actually had to get remarried on the 19th because we got married in the wrong state. Fun facts. Anyway, so 16th, we found out probably a few days before that, and then for Christmas, we decided to make all of our family members that we're gonna buy gifts for these little stocking bags where We took like little baby like onesies and like wrote different sayings on them, like kind of hinting that we were pregnant. And it was like really cute. And one of the things it said like #1 uncle, because that's from my little brother. And then it said something about, and then my dad had one, it was like the best grandpa. And then like we made some for his mom and then my stepmom. So, and then my grandma's pretty much told everyone. And then so at Christmas, like we gave everybody their stockings, and then everyone found out. They're like, this is so cool, it was awesome, blah blah, which was good. In the first like few months, it was really tiring for me and exhausting, but it wasn't like that bad. Like I was still working, I was still, you know, doing what I had to do. And so after that, I think towards like the end of my first trimester, was when I started getting sick, like where I couldn't eat like tacos, and I love tacos, y'all. But I couldn't eat tacos, and I was really sad, and I would throw up, and I was just like unsure. And we just like, at this point we didn't know what gender we're having, so we're like trying to piece together like, oh, you don't like this food, you don't like to do this. She one cranky baby. And sorry about being half naked. When you change 20 diapers in 1 hour, you just get tired of unbuttoning them. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you, Kiki? Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to think where I was at with the story. So I got really sick. I was eating a lot of like I ate like smoothies and like the M&Ms, but then like sweet potato fries. It was like I guess sugary thing. So I kind of should have known that it was gonna be a girl. That's what they say. And I was doing that, and we were trying to like guess what it was, and we never could. And like a lot of our family members didn't know either. But we went to the doctor and got sonos a few times, because one time I think I was like had bleeding really early in the pregnancy, and that's why we were like scared. And then it was just normal. And then I guess around like the second trimester almost, that's when we started to get our gender. We're gonna do a gender reveal. What we're gonna do was not tell anybody, not tell ourselves, open at the last minute. Like I think we had planned something, but then we decided against it. So we ultimately ended up getting like a bunch of cupcakes and having like my brothers, my dad, my stepmom, and his mom, and all like eat them. And then we told them that the inside of the cupcakes had like the filling of the color. It did. None of the cupcakes had anything in them. So we like, they're all scarfing them down to like get to the color. We had like, I think 2 dozen or something like that. So they're trying to scarf these cookies down so that they can, you know, try to guess the gender. Well, what, baby? What? Is it making you mad? Here, look. Sorry, y'all. Dealing with the baby all the time. It's quite the task, if you didn't know. But yeah. So, yeah. So we, what? You don't want any more? What? Come on. Stop. Here. Look at you being crazy. Look at them. They get to see you being crazy. Okay. Let me figure out what I was talking about. They're like, what? Or the cupcakes, they're like, oh my gosh, there's nothing inside. I'm like, we know, it was a trick. So they're like, okay, what's the gender? And so then he pulls off his like hoodie, and it's a girl, and they're like, scream like, oh my gosh, I knew it, blah blah. Fun. And then what? So then we go okay guys, I had to finish the story time without her. She got a little cranky, so she needed to go to sleep. We tell them, they see it, like, oh my god, I can't wait for it, blah blah blah. So the pregnancy was fun after that, pretty much. Like, I didn't really have any problems with her. I did get really big, y'all, though. Like, I gained like probably like 40, 50 pounds. Like all together from the pregnancy and then whatever else, however else I gained it. Obviously wasn't eating, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I gained that. And I had swollen feet all the time. I don't think I really craved anything weird. I'm trying to think what I craved. Anyways, y'all, so she's acting crazy. I can't do the video with her. She'll probably pop up at the end probably and say goodbye, but other than that, she's not going to be in the rest of the video for now. Anyways, so let's get on with it. Anyways, good pregnancy, didn't really have any problems, didn't really crave anything in particular, unless like at that time, pretty much, which was fine. Other than that, I don't think I really had any weird cravings. I mean, at the beginning of my pregnancy, I ate like, what's it called? Like Neapolitan ice cream all the time, pretty much, which, it was okay, I guess, but nothing like serious. Like I wasn't craving like random weird things or anything like that. But on my blood test, I did everything pretty well. Other than that, our pregnancy was like really easy. It was a breeze. She was due on the 10th of August, but she ended up not coming. So my doctor like gave me the choice to keep going with the pregnancy or, you know, set a date. So we went I think a few days, like I think the 10th was on like a Friday, and she was like, if she doesn't come by Monday, we'll come back in, and then from there we'll determine like a day. And I was like, okay. So that Sunday morning at like 3 a.m. I woke up and I had horrible contractions. Like I woke up out of my sleep crying. I called my cousin because she helps deliver babies. So I called her. I'm like, I don't know if I'm having the baby yet, but I think so. Like I'm having contractions. She's like, well, how far are they apart? And they were like, I think a minute or two apart. And she's like, you need to go, or no, maybe they're 5 at first. They're 5 at first. And then she's like, you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay. So we called there and let them know we're coming. Like, okay, we go up there. My contractions were, I think whatever time, like 5 minutes apart or something like that. But I wasn't dilated, and I have never been dilated this whole pregnancy, really, like at all, I don't think. And so they're like, well, you gotta go home. They try to make me walk around. Walked around, nothing happened. So they're like, you gotta go home, and once you get to like a minute apart, come back. And I'm like, all right, I guess. So that's what we do. We leave, we go home. I like bounce on the ball, exercise ball. Then we what else do we do? They tell you like eat spicy stuff and like do all these weird remedies. So we did like a lot of that stuff pretty much until I got tired. And then I was like, no, I'm just gonna sit on my butt for the rest of this time and watch TV. So we sat there and watched, I think like that one show on Netflix with the football players, Last Chance U. We watched that. It was hecka good. I loved it. So we did that, and it was pretty nice. And I watermelon like the whole end of my pregnancy, pretty much that whole day. And then my doctor called me and she's like, hey, we're gonna actually schedule you for Monday. Just come in, you know, regular time, or no, Sunday. I think it was supposed to be that Sunday. So I can't remember what day it is. We planned a day. I think she planned the 13th. And then that's when I was having contractions anyways. And then she was like, you know what? We're just gonna go with the flow. So we ended up going back in Sunday at 8. We went back and I was having really bad contractions. We got there and I was 1 centimeter dilated. And at that point, my doctor was going to have me do what's it called? Where they get you to have your baby. Like, I don't know, it's like some hormone that they give you to help you help her to come down, because she was not coming, and you can't pass like a certain amount of like weeks or something like that. So anyway, so she was about to prescribe me that medicine in the hospital, but I was 1 centimeter. So she's like, you know, we'll just wait it out and see, like, you know, where you go. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're like waiting it out, trying to figure out what's gonna happen. And she comes back, and I'm like, $2 centimeter. She's like, you know what, we'll just keep it. You're fine. You're dialing by yourself. I'm like, okay, cool. And at first it was fine. So this whole time I'm 15 minutes checking my vitals and making sure I'm good. And then I hit like, I want to say like 3 centimeters. And I was like, oh, I can't do this no more. And they're like, what you mean? What's wrong? I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this pain is outrageous. And I was like having a really hard time. And there's like, no, it'll be fine. I'm like, nope, I can't do it. So they're like, okay, well, we can give you the epidural. I'm like, I'm not, it's not ready to push. Like, why would I, do that right now? And they're like, no, it's gonna last, through the whole time. I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it. So we get the epidural and everything's good. I don't feel no pain. Go to sleep for a few hours, wake up, drink water, just the basics, waiting. And I don't really feel anything, but I can see on a little screen, like when a contraction comes, I see it, but I don't really feel them. And I mean, I could tell, but you can't really tell how you would before. Like I was in pain before. So anyway, so I can see when they're coming. I can see her heartbeat, everything like that. Everything's good. I say about 3. I was at a full 10, and they're like, it's time to push. I was like, what? My doctor's not even here. What? Like I was like freaking out. And it's Monday at this point, and this is when she has scheduled me anyway, so it was perfect. So they put you in little stirrups with your little feet up, and they're like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, like teaching you like when the contraction comes, you feel it, push. And let me back up. Don't forget, like, okay, so I got that epidural like 3 centimeters. Towards like 7 or 8, it was like 8. I think I started feeling them again, so they pumped me with another dose of fentanyl. And I was like, okay. But still, mind you, I had the epidural, so I'm hitting that mug every 10 minutes. Plus, I just put the fentanyl in there. Okay, so I get the 10. I'm like, done. They're like, let's get another one. At this point, I've had 2 fentanyl shots. Plus, I'm still pumping my epidural. I was drugged. So anyway, I started pushing, and they're trying to get her out. And it was like really hard. Like, I don't know. It's like a weird kind of push that you gotta do. I never really had to do that before, and it was awkward. But I mean, it works, I guess. But anyways, so this lady, like one of the nurses, she like gets down there with like the Astroglide, like the loop stuff, and she's like, I was like, oh, I had the mirror, but I was like, I don't want to see it anymore, so they got rid of it. But I can like feel her like inside, like. Anyways, she was getting it, trying to make sure like I wasn't gonna rip, it was gonna be good, whatever. So after like 30 minutes, I want to say 30 to 45 minutes, her head starts to come out, and they're like, wait, the doctor. I'm like, we're not waiting. And then in walks my doctor and all these like 17 million other nurses, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know giving birth was gonna be an audience. So we ended up like one more push, she pops out, and I'm like, oh, thank God, really. And I put my legs down, and they're like stitching me up, doing all this. I don't even know, like they don't feel a thing at this point. My entire bottom half is so numb, like I can't even tell you what's happening to it. And so they like weigh her and everything, or no, they don't weigh her first. They take her out, clean her off, they put her on my chest. Immediately she poops right on me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. They take her back out, unwrap her from the covers, give her another cover, lay her back down, because you need the skin to skin as soon as they're born. Poops again in the blanket. I was like, oh my God. Finally, they take her, they clean her up for real this time, and like take her, weigh her and everything like that, and give her back. And that's when I started breastfeeding. Well, like when you first breastfeed, like you don't get like your milk immediately. Like it's just like, I forget what the word it's called. Like, it's like this fake type of milk thing, colostrum, and like to help you get your milk to come. And she like sucks on it like all the time. So she like, the first when she was born, she sucked my nipple for like 30 minutes. 30. I was dying because I've never had that. It was horrible. Like my nipples were cracked. I just skipped the details, but it was not fun. But then like after that, it was like awesome. Like getting to like love on her and hold her, and I don't know, it was just awesome. Like I didn't care about the nasty cafeteria food. I didn't care about how I looked. I didn't care about anything. Like she became like my world, and it was so awesome. And like for like what is it called? Her home, like the outfit you wear back home. So it was like a Winnie the Pooh like onesie, which her room is entirely like Winnie the Pooh. Like I wanted to do like a gender neutral type of like room. Cute. I'll post a picture up here and I'll show you. Like when she was first born, she was so cute. And we had everybody coming over to see our baby and stuff at the hospital, and it was so awesome. It was a good experience. But I couldn't walk for like a whole day. Like, so I had her like that Monday, that Tuesday I couldn't walk. Like I had a catheter in for a long time, and then when they finally take it out, like I had to be wheeled to the bathroom, picked up off, put it on the toilet. Like it was horrible because they make you like put all the like the pads and stuff or like the blood. Anyways, you gotta go to the bathroom a lot. So I did that, and they're like, if your legs don't come back, we're gonna like have to figure something out because we don't know what's wrong. Like, I'm like, I know what's wrong. I had epidural and 2 fentanyls, and I was super high. Like, that's what's wrong. And I'm not even doing make baby's firstborn. They put them through like this hearing test to make sure that they can hear. Excuse me. And she did not pass. So they came back like the next day. We're in the hospital, and she still didn't pass. And I was so scared because she's obviously deaf, and I was like crying and scared because I was like, I don't want my baby to be deaf. Like, I don't know what I did. Like, I was just like, I'm living on myself. It was just horrible. I was like scared. So then they make you come back in like a week after she's born, like to do the test again to see for sure if she's can hear. And there's like a low percent, like once you go to that meeting like that, you'll be able to hear like 20% or something like that of kids that actually can hear after waiting that amount of time. I was crying, and I didn't know what to do. So we go home, and life is completely different, y'all. Like having to deal with the aftercare. I think if I had to rank my pregnancy from like beginning to end, I would say that like the contractions were the hardest. No, back up. The aftercare is the hardest. Like having to like wash yourself and use like the different bottles and all the sprays and like keeping yourself clean and using the ice packs and the pads. Like that stuff is a lot of work, and it's tedious, and it's disgusting, and it's just not something I like to do. So I hated that part. And then I would say, so it would be that one, and then it would be contractions, which sucked bad. And then I would say then the actual pushing, because I didn't feel a thing, like nothing. I didn't feel anything. Couldn't tell you if it hurt, nothing. As I was completely numb. As you could tell, I couldn't walk for the next day. So I didn't really care, but it does make me rethink if I want to have another kid, just because that's a lot of work with having to push and all that stuff. So people don't tell you what it takes to like raise a newborn, and like what you do. Like no one tells you like the amount of sleep you won't get. No one tells you about like waking up and feeling a certain way when they're not next to you, or having to feed every night, like throughout the night. Like it's just a lot to handle when you like never experience it and not know what to expect. Especially me, because I grew up without my mom. My mom died when I was a lot younger, when I was about 8. So it was just different. The experience was just different for me, and I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to do really. So it was hard. It was hard. And at that time, like Daniel, he had like I think a week off, but it still was like not enough for me. Like I feel like I needed more, and I was just uncomfortable where I was living, and it was just like a lot. I just didn't really like it. But she made me happy, and breastfeeding was fun. It still is fun, and it's a good bond that I love. I would never give that up for anything. Like, and if I have any more kids, I'm definitely gonna breastfeed because it was awesome. Yo, like once my milk came in, it came in like overnight. Like so one night, like we went home, I still hadn't had my milk yet, but she was still like sucking for the colostrum. And then like I went to bed, woke up, literally the entire bed. The bed was wet, the pillows were wet, she wet, I'm wet, we all wet. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, did we like not wake up for her to pee? Like, what, you know, we not like watching out. Like, and I get up, and like my shirt, just like where the boobs are, drenched. Like nothing else, just for that. And I'm like, oh my god. To this day, I still have that t-shirt, and just where the boobs are, like it's just a bunch of like milk stains, and it's disgusting. It's so funny though, because we thought like something really happened, and it really didn't. But so my camera died, and now this lighting is completely different on this phone. I mean, this camera is completely different, and it makes my face maybe I was just weird anyways. I never had problems during pregnancy, but after, I will say I know there's moms out there who deal with like postpartum, and I will say that I was one of those moms who got postpartum, and it definitely sucks. And you don't really know what's going on with you. You just feel like, oh, maybe it's the emotions or the hormones, or like you're not adapting to the child. Like there's a lot of things that go through your head. You're wondering like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? Why, you know? And you just kind of don't know. And then you have your like postpartum checkup, and I went to that, and I like fed her, and then like they tell you, should go in the room, you know, get dressed naked, or get dressed, get naked, and we're gonna do an exam, breast exam, you know, the full exam, the full thing. And so we do that, and I feed her, and she starts crying. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like trying to console her while I'm butt naked in these freaking gowns that they have. And not only that, but when your baby cries, if you don't know, you get let down. Let down means like when they start crying, your boobs literally let them milk out. Like they're trying to like, you know, console the baby, make her happy, and what your boobs think she wants is food. So I'm like, both my titties are milking. I have on this little gown, like drenched in milk, and she's crying, but she just ate. I'm like overwhelmed. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm about to cry. I pick her up, she's still screaming. My doctor comes in there, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. Like, she started crying. Like, I'm trying to do everything for her, but she's like going crazy. Like, and I was just like overwhelmed, definitely overwhelmed. I just didn't know what to do. I was scared. I just couldn't handle it. And all of that, like being the first time mom, and then like Daniel having to be going back to work, I just had to do it myself. And you could never prepare for a life change like that. And I will just say that for any person watching that who doesn't have a kid, you can never prepare for it. Like, it will prepare you, like, while you're going through it. It's just crazy. So anyway, like the nurses come in and take her for me, and they're like consoling her, and she's like happy and laughing for them. And then for me, like, she was like screaming. So like they do my full exam, whatever, and I had to get blood work done and all that stuff. And then they're like, when my doctor comes back, and she's like, I think we should, you know, not do like the Depo shot for birth control. I think we should try the pill, just because I think you're going through postpartum, and I think that you should, like, you know, take the medication like a Zoloft or something, for your, you know, emotions, and to get you back to where you are. I'm like, oh my god, I have to take like medicine for my depression and my anxiety, and this is the first time I actually had to like take medicine for it. Before I would just, you know, do counseling or stuff like that, and it just was very eye-opening because I didn't think that was what the problem. So like for the first like 2 or 3 weeks after that, I didn't take it because I'm like, I'm not taking no medicine for this, like I'm good, you know. And then things got worse, like your mental state gets worse, and you never know what you're thinking, what you're gonna do. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what, it's my life or those pills, and I'm gonna have to take those pills because I'm not giving my life up. So I started taking the medicine, and things went back to normal. Like I could, you know, cope with what's happening in my life, and I could, you know, be okay with her, and not like have this overwhelming feeling that like my life is over. So I would say, for any first time mom, like, if you're having those problems, please talk to your doctor. Because even I have a few friends that after they had their baby, they had the same problem. Like, hey, Corinne, did you have this? Or like, what happened with this? And I like tell them, like, I had the same problem. Like, I had to get prescribed medicine. I had to do all this just to like feel better, because if I didn't, I don't know where I would be, to be honest. Like, I can say that with full honesty, that if I wasn't prescribed to that medicine, I don't know how I would have made it this far. But I've since weaned myself off of it. Really not weaned, I just stopped taking it and just like started to like let myself figure out how to handle situations, which isn't totally the best, because still to this day, like, I have problems with dealing with a certain amount of stress. But I will say that the medicine makes you very, I don't know how to say it, like, neutral. That's what I would say. Makes you very neutral. And I didn't really like that. I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like the way other people saw me. I didn't really like my way my daughter saw me, and I feel like it changed her ability to feed with me. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna do it anymore. I'm just gonna take birth control, and that's it. And that's what I did, and things have been fine. As you can see, like, she's a big beautiful baby. She's 18 pounds at this point. Probably more than that, because we did that appointment like beginning of this week. She's 4 months. Let's see what else. She wears a size 6 to 9. I'm trying to think what else that she does. She always watches cartoons all the time. That's all she wants to do, like, live nights. I just started giving her sleep in her own room, which I know some of you moms out there are gonna be like, oh my goodness, don't start that habit. I know, but it's really hard to like wake up and go all the way across the house to feed, or, you know, to make sure that she's okay. when I can just have her right next to me. And I know a lot of people say, well, why don't you get the bedside thing? Well, I don't really want to do that. I wanted to like cuddle with her. I want her to know that I loved her. Like, with not having a mom, I'm not sure if anyone can really relate to that. If you can, we can talk about it. But not having a mom, I just want her to feel, you know, so loved and welcomed, and like nothing in this world can do anything to harm her, and that I was here for her to the day she dies. And I just always wanted her to feel that way, no matter what age she's at. And so that's what I did. Like, I hold her and console her all the time, and now I regret it. I regret it. Don't do that, y'all. Get the bedside thing. Don't cope. Co-sleeping is fine in the beginning, but I feel like quicker than 4 months, because it took me 4 months to just start getting her to wean to nap in her bed, and then she doesn't really want to sleep by herself. I had to put her to sleep, trick her into sleeping in her crib. It's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of work, and if you just start early with it and you don't get too attached, like, it'll be easy for you to wean off. That's pretty much my pregnancy, which was boring. I didn't do anything in my pregnancy, y'all. I worked the whole time, went to school the whole time. I was busy. And those 9 months went by so fast. And I graduated. I'll show the video about being pregnant with her and going through the gender reveal and birth, and up until this point she's a growing healthy baby. For her weight and her height, she's actually obese. For her, like, if you put her in the same 4-month-old group as all the other babies that were born around the time she was. But if you put her with the baby similar to her age, she's in the 97th percentile, which is really awesome, and I'm really proud of her. And I really think it has a lot to do with the breast milk. I will say that, because a lot of my friends who have had babies already, they use formula, or they might have started out with breastfeeding and then go to formula, but they go to formula and they notice a lot more problems, and I just don't have those problems. And I would recommend it to any mom, because it's literally the best thing that I've ever done. I will let you know that it's sometimes tough, but if you can stick it out, I would, because it's totally worth it. Like, I'm not, I think this video is long, and I think I'm ready to end it, and I'm sorry that Kay is not here to end it with me. I guess I can get up and go check for her. I didn't put any highlighter on, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I did with it, actually.